Say if you never wake up from that dream, you can never say that it is reality or is it a dream. So the reality becomes a dream on waking up from sleep. Let's say if your sleep never breaks, then that dream will become your reality. So because we have a sleep in between the two states, the wakeful state and the dream state, the sleep is there. So when the sleep is there, the dream is a reality. And when sleep is not there, then the reality is a dream. We can understand this from another perspective also. When you are in the dream world, you totally forget the waking world. You have no recollection or remembrance of the waking world when you are in your dream world. Meaning when the consciousness is in the waking world, you still have some memories of the dreams which you had, but when you are in the dream world, you don't have any memory of your waking world. Hence, the dream might seem very fluid, meaningless, but the reality is when it is happening, it's happening so powerfully and strongly that that dream becomes your reality. We usually don't ponder on our own dreams. We don't think on our own dreams. We don't understand how it comes and it goes. We are so bothered about our waking world that our mind is filled with all the crappy fears and scares and hopes for this waking world, which seems to be the real world. We don't think about the dreams while being awake. And when you are in the dream, there is no remembrance of the waking world, happenings, incident, or whatsoever. When you wake up from a dream, how do you see that dream after the sleep has gone? Maybe for a few minutes or few seconds, some very overpowering dream which has huddled up some emotions of, say, fear or joy or pleasure or something that might give you the area to ponder upon what dream you had. But usually you don't even think again about what kind of dream happened or not happened. Once the dream is gone, it's gone. As if it was meaningless. But when it is happening, it is a reality for you. So the difference in between the reality and the illusion is very big. But that doesn't mean that on seeing a dream, you will see the molecular structure of all the things what you are seeing. Just because, say, you have a dream, but in dream you still have the memory and you are very vigilant about it and you have this thought in the dream, it is a dream. So what would happen? Possibility is that you will wake up, but another possibility is that the dream still might continue. With you having the feeling that it is a dream. Two possibilities I am saying. But that doesn't mean that on understanding that this dream is a dream, that dream will suddenly become like a molecular vision for you, or seeing the cellular dance happening in the universe. So the name and form, what you are seeing, will be as real or solid the way it is for an ignorant man, would be same for an enlightened man. We can't say that a realized person's eyes will suddenly change into microscope and will see the molecular or the cellular dancing happening. In Gita, Krishna is asked this question by Arjuna, that how does an enlightened being see? How does he hear? How does he behave? How does he talk? How does he will interact? This is a very specific question which Arjuna is asking to Sri Krishna. And then Sri Krishna says that in the behavior of a jnani, jnani is the Sanskrit word for the realized person, the behavior of the jnani would be as normal as any other person, but even when the jnani is talking, he knows it is the body and the speech organ which is functioning with the help of the mind. And he knows that what I am seeing is just an imposition of the illusionary world on the basis of the substratum, the omniscient, Brahman, and everything else, whatever I am seeing, the name and the form, are just the ripples, are just the waves occurring in the ocean of the conscious existence, Satchitanand existence. So the name and form is just going to be as it is, not that the Jnani will be having some microscopic eyes and will be looking at that, the cellular or the molecular waves or the particles are suddenly being seen. They have nothing like that, nothing like that. Sa pashyati pashyati. The one who knows the self will see the world as it is. But even in that seeing, there is no misconception that it is truth or it is real. Knowing that this body is not me, the Jnani will be still using this body to walk, to talk, to sit, to sleep, to eat, to hear, to sing, to dance. So all these so-called activities of the body will be absolutely as normal as any ignorant person's movement of body or the senses would be. There won't be any difference in that. The only difference is for an ignorant person, what is seen is real and the real self is not known. But for the Jnani, the real self is known, and whatever is being seen by eyes or the forms and the shades of colors and the structural changes happening or the climatic changes happening are all seen as they are. There is nothing extraordinary in that. There is no difference in seeing. But still, there is a very, very big change, should I say. But that change is not a exercised or induced change. That change is a very gradual, without any effort. Like for a common person, it is a great effort to silence the mind. But for a Jnani, it is an effortless thing to silence the mind, or if the mind is being used to think and create an idea or create a strategy or create a plan. So the Jnani is using his or her mind beautifully without the mind being allowing the mind to overpower. For a non-initiate who doesn't know the philosophy and the understanding of the Vedanta, for that person it will be difficult. But I can give you one analogy that once you know what water is, then every bubble and every wave and every foam, whether of variant sizes or whatever it is, the undercurrent waves in the sea or the currents which are on the surface of the sea, every current is water. So if water is asked the question, how do you see the waves and the bubbles and the foam? What will water say? Water says, well, it's me. So for Jnani, this whole world is me. I am recalling there is a beautiful Urdu couplet in which the sage is saying that all these beautiful faces are beads of my rosary. All these faces are like the beads of my rosary, the mala. The faces keep on changing and my worship is happening. Can you absorb what I am saying? Every face, ये सोनी सूरतें मेरी माला के मोती हैं, सूरतें बदलती रहती हैं, इबादत होती जाती है. For a Jnani, there is now no need to hold a mala in a hand and to do the jap, the chanting. The Jnani says that every face on this earth is the bead of my mala, rosary, the spiritual rosary. And as somebody holds a rosary and they turn the beads and they are completing the cycles of their japam, the same thing is happening in the world that you see one person comes, then another person comes and then another person. The faces are changing. Faces are changing. The faces are moving. They are changing. It's like turning the beads. So as the faces are changing, the bodies which I am seeing are changing. It's like that I am turning my mala. I am turning the beads of my rosary, my mala. Hence now this is something of an ultimate state of jnana where there is no need left to sit down and calm the mind and turn the beads of the mala also. Because now the jnani is in a very different zone where with the open eyes, the mind is in the meditative state. Because if it is an illusion. I don't have to love this illusion or hate this illusion or run away from this illusion. Once you know it is an illusion, the game is done. The game is done. Then it is said in Ashtavakar Gita, Rishi Ashtavakar says that for a Jnani, there is no obligation of any kind to do any sadhana. There is no obligation or responsibility or condition or a system which a Jnani has to have on his mind or his life. Because now it's the self which is omniscient. It is the self which is the Brahman. And Brahman is omniscient. The substratum of this all name and forms. And once this is understood experientially, the veil of the ignorance gets lifted. Then they say, what is the responsibility of a Jnani? They say, none. Ashtavakar Gita says none. So what is doable for a Jnani? It's a none. None. So do's and don'ts and all the rules of the ethics and the moral and the virtue and the merits and pap and punya, and this is all for the common ignorant people, not for a Jnani.